All right, I have finished my pass of the line art. So now I want to just make sure it's what I want. I'm going to turn off my sketch layer. And I am going to double click on the rotate hand tool just to set it at its original orientation. And I can kind of zoom in and look around, make sure there's nothing to fix, nothing that bugs me. And as I see just tiny things, I'm just going to use my basic tools, same as always. Use Command to see the anchor points, which gives me the small selection tool. And use the pencil with smooth to clean up little things. Because this vector is going to be the line art for your illustration, and it will scale up. So I try to think of it as being on a t-shirt, but I also try to think of it as being on a billboard and on the side of a building, and all the different ways that these spot illustrations are used for ad campaigns, for promotional purposes. This vector gives us all of our edges, right? So this line art's actually incredibly impactful, even though we're going to color behind it. All that is basically summed up by saying, if there's something that bugs you later that you left here, you're going to have to live with it. All right, and the thing I think that will bug me is this decision here. So I'm just going to straighten that arrow out. And what I do is I use the eraser tool to separate it out, and then select it individually and delete it. And then I'll use the blob brush to connect it. And my worry is that they're not quite lined up symmetrically, right? So then I use the pencil tool, hold down Command, see the anchor points, draw the inside of the line. Remember, because we're doing them as fill paths, there's an inside and an outside to every line. And this is a case where I might use the smooth tool to kind of average them out. And that's in the pencil tool drawer. Kind of average that out, average it out, average it out, average it out. Now my worry is, you see how these don't match? So we have to go to our illustration techniques. And how can I move all of this without having to redraw it? That'd be a big pain. I go to the small selection tool drawer and I get the lasso tool, which you don't use all that much in Illustrator, but in this case, it's a good use of it. I'm going to select all those anchor points, just where I lassoed. There's no real way for it to show me that. But then when I grab one of them, it will just move those. So, and I'm trying to get it so they kind of line up, right? And now I use the pencil tool to redraw this outside edge. It's kind of a tricky angle. So sometimes just little corrections you have to really think through, because they can be a big pain, especially when you have everything else where you want it. Now, for straights like this, there's always the option too of just deleting anchor points. So with the pen tool, I can just click on them and delete all of these, but there's going to be a lot of them because it was done with the blob brush. So between that, the pencil tool, the smooth tool, I should be able to get it on both the inside of the line and the outside of the line. So that's pretty close. Just thicken it up a bit here. All right, let's see how that looks. Yes, okay. So now I am finished with my line art. I make sure the sketch is turned off so that's not muddying it up, right? If I'm being extra careful, I select all of it with the large selection tool and I make sure that the entire thing is only a fill path, that there's no stroke there, that there's no question marks there, and if there are, I can help you fix it, right? And then I drag the whole thing off to the gray just to make sure there's no white or off colors, and there aren't. Okay, so now I need to save it in our 3 vector formats. So I save it as my AI. So I say save. That will save it as my AI. I look where it's going. It's going to my assignment 5 folder. Now I say file save as. I don't need to do save a copy. You could. It will just add copy to your name. But then I save it as an SVG. That's for your own use. That's the most versatile form of transferable vector file. And then because we're working with Adobe products, I save it as an Illustrator EPS. So those are the 3. And I have color codes for them. They save pretty quickly because vector files don't take up a lot of memory. And I mark the SVG and the EPS with violet for vector. Okay, now, and I see your hand, Max. I'll be right there. I just wanted to show this. Now I'm going to set it up for posting to Canvas as the second requirement and set it up for coloring. Now, we color in Photoshop. We raster color. So it says AI, SVG, and EPS. Those are the 3 vector formats we need to know. So what I do is I now open Photoshop. I can quit Illustrator. I'm done with it. I've got my vector from it. So when I open Photoshop, I'm going to create a new file, and I've written the dimensions up on the whiteboard on the right side there. And we're going to make this an empty file in Photoshop that's a large enough pixel resolution for our illustration to be colored high quality enough that it can go onto a full-size poster, or at least as large as we can print in class. So I'm going to say File New, or New File in Photoshop, and I'm going to name it again. This is my name, and then a description. So this is assignment number 5, and this is my apathy color spot illustration, which is different than just line art, right? Because this is how we make it color as a PSD. So I get that empty pixel grid. It's 11 by 14 inches at 350 pixels per inch. I put that in. I drag the EPS file, the only one that doesn't have a little preview icon, and I drag and drop that in, just like we did with our Earth Day symbols. Then I can hold down Option and center it, and then hit Return. Now my illustration is maybe just slightly wider than it is tall, and if that's the case, I can just rotate, go to Image, actually go to Image and then Image Rotation, and just rotate it clockwise or counterclockwise 90 degrees. And now I can just take my illustration, hit Command T, and hold down Shift while I rotate it, and it will lock it. And there we go. And I can even make it bigger. Command T and then Option. So it will fit a little bit more comfortably within that pixel space, wider than it is tall, as long as it's at least 11 by 14 by 350, which is larger than our usual 8 by 10 standard. Now this is a smart object. It is a vector, which means it will infinitely resize. And even though I see right at the crotch, there's a little divot there, and that's going to bug me, right? But the only way I could fix that would be to go back to the AI, fix it there, and then resave it as an SVG and an EPS, and then bring it back in. So this is how we set it up for color and to save as a JPEG to put into Canvas, right? Because you can't put vector files online. And this is just the thing I missed. There's probably other things too, but the crotch will bug me. So let me fix it. And it's not about getting a perfect illustration. It's about getting familiarity and exposure to these tools and this methodology. All right. So then we save it in those ways. Save for the AI. Save as. For the SVG. Change it under format. And the EPS. And I'm going to replace the originals. Save as. EPS, replace the original, keep all the defaults, close Illustrator, quit Illustrator even, so you're not taking up that memory. Now when I go back to Photoshop, I'll keep this, but I'm going to dim it just so I know where I placed it, right? And I'm going to bring in the EPS again, but I'm going to mark these again with the violet color, so I know they're the vector formats. Drag and drop the EPS in, and then hold down Option. That's the size I wanted, and then I can get rid of the earlier version. And now I have a crotch that is unmolested. All right, so what do we do now? I say File, I say Save a Copy, and I save it as a JPEG. Not for any reason other than putting it to Canvas. Because it's our second requirement. So I go to the Canvas assignment. So this video is just about saving up our line art and then setting it up for in Photoshop. So requirement 2. And this will be my vector line art. And line art's always just black. If it's not super, super dark black, if for some reason you chose you didn't get all the way to that bottom left-hand corner, that's fine as long as it's vector line art. It's not the EPS I want, it's the JPEG I want. Because that's what's going to show up in Canvas. Okay. Shrink it a bit. There we go. Now, within Photoshop, you can see it has this new name with color in it, right? Now, I'm going to set it up. Now I'm going to set it up for coloring. And I like to have real-world analog metaphors for our digital workflow processes, right? So this isn't collage. This isn't building a car on a factory floor. What this is a sandwich. This is a digital coloring sandwich. And on the bottom of the sandwich, we just look in layers. There's a right way to do this. We have a blank white layer. So we're going to double click that and rename it blank white. And say OK. And then we're going to lock it with the padlock. So what this blank white layer is that's underneath everything, that's our Wonder Bread, our white bread that's on the bottom. That's the foundation of our sandwich. Nothing should ever go onto it, right? And then our line art is our black bread. It's our German Schwarzbrot, right? It's really, really heavy and dense and dark. And so I'm going to mark it gray, and I'm going to keep it with all its little seeds and granular detail. That's what shows that it's a smart object in the icon. I am never going to rasterize this layer, and I'm going to protect it always by having it locked. Now, a sandwich is more than just a piece of white bread on the bottom and black bread on the top. You need something in between the layers, right? That's where the coloring comes in. So I'm going to click on the white bread layer, click on the little plus sign post-it new layer icon at the bottom of the layer options. That gives me a new layer in between the two pieces of bread. I'm going to mark that layer with yellow because what's my favorite simplest sandwich? Grilled cheese, right? So it's just going to be 2 slices of bread and then cheese in the middle.